Hello everyone. In this video, I'm gonna explain the second type of adsorption isotherm, that is Langmuir adsorption isotherm. There are few points to be followed to know about this Langmuir adsorption isotherm. So look at the points here. First one, the adsorbed layer on the adsorbent is unimolecular in thickness. So we have already seen in the previous video that in Langmuir adsorption, the forces existing between the adsorbate and the adsorbent are strong chemical forces. Hence, it is forming a single layer of molecules on the surface of the adsorbent. That is, it forms a mono layer. So this we have already learned in the previous video. So here the first point goes like this. The adsorbed layer of the molecules on the surface of the adsorbent is monomolecular in thickness. Okay. Second point, adsorption takes place on the surface of the adsorbent at the fixed sites and there would be no interaction between the adsorbed molecules. And the third point, in this adsorption, there are two opposite processes called as condensation and evaporation, or adsorption or desorption. So if we look at these two processes, in the beginning, that is at initial stages, rate of condensation will be maximum. Why it will be maximum? Because the surface of the adsorbent is completely free in the initial stages. Slowly, when once the surface becomes gradually covered by the molecules, the rate of this process, that is rate of condensation, becomes smaller and smaller. Okay. In the beginning, rate of condensation is maximum. Why? Because the surface is completely free. When once it starts getting covered by the molecules, rate of condensation becomes smaller and smaller. Next, in the opposite direction, that is on the contrary, the initial rate of evaporation, that is rate of evaporation in the beginning is almost zero. Why? Because there are no molecules adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent. But when once it gets more and more covered by the molecules, rate of evaporation increases with time. So try to observe or notice the difference between the rate of condensation and rate of evaporation. In the initial stages, rate of condensation is maximum. Why? Because the surface is completely free. As the surface becomes gradually covered, rate of condensation becomes smaller and smaller. Okay. And on the contrary, the rate of evaporation at initial stages would remain completely zero, but as the time passes means what is happening? The surface is getting covered by the adsorbate molecules. It increases with the time. Okay. But at one stage, there will be an equilibrium between these two processes at which rate of condensation becomes equal to rate of evaporation. Okay, understood students? All the 3 points. Now, basing on these 3 points, the equation for this Langmuir adsorption isotherm is being derived. So, how it is derived? Let us move on towards the derivation. So, first, look at the point here. Let us assume that n molecules of a gas strike the surface of an adsorbent whose surface area is 1 centimeter square with a pressure P per second, then the fraction of surface area covered by the adsorbed molecules will be theta. Again, Let us assume n molecules of a gas strike the surface of an adsorbent whose surface area is how much? 1 centimeter square with a pressure P per second. Then the fraction of the surface area covered by the adsorbed molecules will be theta. So how much surface is covered by the adsorbed molecules? Theta surface area is covered by the adsorbed molecules. What is the total surface area of the adsorbent? 1 centimeter square. So what would be the surface which is not covered by the adsorbed molecules? That will be equal to 1 minus theta. So that's what I mentioned in the next sentence. The fraction of surface uncovered will be equal to 1 minus theta. Next, pressure of the gas is P. Okay. So from these values, we can find rate of adsorption. So rate of adsorption is proportional to P, that is pressure of the gas, multiplied by 1 minus theta, that is fraction of the surface uncovered or the amount of the surface available for the further adsorption. Okay, so you all know that if we remove the proportionality, we should take a constant over here. So I have taken K1 as the proportionality constant. So rate of adsorption or condensation is equal to K1 into P into 1 minus theta. Again students, K1 is the proportionality constant, P is the pressure, 1 minus theta is the fraction which remains uncovered for further adsorption. Next, rate of evaporation or desorption is proportional to theta. What is theta? Theta is a fraction of the surface covered by the adsorbed molecules. If we remove the proportionality, a new constant is taken. It is equal to K2 into theta. We have seen that at equilibrium, rate of condensation will be equal to rate of evaporation. That is, rate of condensation, we got it as K1P into 1 minus theta. Rate of evaporation, we got it as K2 into theta. Therefore, K1 into P into 1 minus theta is equal to K2 into theta. Look at the left hand side portion. Opening the brackets, we get K1 into P minus K1 into P into theta, which is equal to K2 into theta. Next step, K1P is equal to K2 into theta plus K1 into P into theta. Left side, it is minus K1 into P into theta. If it comes to right side, it becomes plus K1 into P into theta. So it is equal to theta into K2 plus K1 into P. So why I have written like this? Because look at the above step. It is equal to K2 into theta plus K1 into P into theta. So in both the terms, theta is common. Therefore, it is taken common out. It is equal to theta into K2 plus K1 into P. Therefore, theta is equal to K1 into P divided by K2 plus K1 into P. Okay. So, next dividing numerator and denominator by K2, we get theta is equal to K1 by K2 into P divided by K2 plus K1 by K2 into P is equal to what happens? K1 by K2 into P divided by, see, look at the denominator, K2 plus K1 by K2. It is in the form of what? A plus B by C, which can be written as A by C plus B by C. So applying that to our equation, we get here K2 by K2 plus K1 by K2 into P. So K2 gets cancelled. So it becomes 1 plus K1 by K2 into P. Okay. So again I am repeating students, at equilibrium rate of condensation is equal to rate of evaporation. So kindly take your notes and pen, write down step by step, then only you can understand this derivation easily. So rate of condensation, we got it as K1 into P into 1 minus theta. Rate of evaporation, we got it as K2 into theta. Okay. Opening up the brackets, we get K1P minus K1P theta is equal to K2 into theta. Bringing minus K1 into P theta right side, we get K1P is equal to K2 into theta plus K1 into P theta. It is equal to theta into K2 plus K1P. Theta is taken common out. So therefore, theta is equal to, left side what is there? K1P divided by K2 plus K1 into P. Now, dividing the numerator and denominator by K2, we get theta is equal to K1 by K2 into P divided by K2 plus K1 by K2 into P. So K1 plus K2 by K2 is in the form of A plus B by C, which is equal to A by C plus B by C. So look at the next step, is equal to K1 by K2 into P divided by K2 by K2 plus K1 by K2 into P. It is equal to K1 by K2 into P divided by 1 plus K1 by K2 into P. Therefore, theta is equal to AP by 1 plus AP, since K1 by K2 is taken as A. K1 is a constant, K2 is a constant. So, constant by constant can be taken as a new constant. Therefore, theta is equal to AP by 1 plus AP. But we know that extent of adsorption, that is x by m, is proportional to theta. What is meant by extent of adsorption? In the previous video, we have seen extent of adsorption is taken as x by m. What is x? What is m? Do you remember? X is the amount of the adsorbate, m is the amount of the adsorbent. So, extent of adsorption is proportional to theta. Why is it proportional to theta? What is theta? Theta is nothing but the fraction of the surface covered by the adsorbed molecules. So how much amount of surface is covered? From that only we can know extent of adsorption. Okay. So what is theta value? Look at the above step. Theta is equal to AP by 1 plus AP. Okay. So x by m is proportional to AP by 1 plus AP. So if we remove the proportionality, another new constant K3. So because we used K1 and also K2. So the next constant we can take it as K3 into A into P by 1 plus AP. So the final expression x by m is equal to BP by 1 plus AP. So what is this B over here? Look at the above step. K3 is a constant, A is a constant. So constant into constant, a new constant. So here I have taken B as the new constant. So x by m is equal to BP by 1 plus AP, which is called as Langmuir adsorption isotherm equation. Next is experimental verification. So the above equation should be verified experimentally. So now taking the Langmuir adsorption isotherm equation, that is x by m is equal to BP by 1 plus AP. So what is the next step that we have to do over here? Taking reciprocal on both the sides. Just do the above step upside down. So next step is 1 by x by m is equal to 1 by BP by 1 plus AP. So what happens? 1 by x by m is equal to 1 plus AP by BP, which is equal to, again it is in the form of A plus B by C, which is equal to A by C plus B by C. It is equal to 1 by BP plus AP by BP. So P gets cancelled. What remains? 1 by BP plus A by B. Now if we multiply with P on both the sides, we get, so look at left hand side portion. There is 1 by x by m. Now multiply with P. So it becomes P by x by m is equal to P by BP plus A by B into P. Therefore, P by X by M is equal to, again here P gets cancelled. What remains? 1 by B plus A by B into P. So the above equation, it resembles y is equal to mx plus c, which is a straight line equation, as you all know. Okay. So now if we plot a graph between P by X by M on y-axis and P on x-axis, we get a straight line if Langmuir adsorption isotherm is correct. Here we obtain the same, and hence Langmuir adsorption isotherm is verified. Again, the above equation resembles y is equal to mx plus c, which is called as a straight line equation. So if we plot a graph between P by X by M on y-axis and P on x-axis, a straight line should be obtained if the Langmuir adsorption isotherm equation is correct. So observe the graph below drawn. Here we obtained the straight line, hence Langmuir adsorption isotherm is verified. Okay, so now there is an application of Langmuir adsorption isotherm. So what is this application of Langmuir adsorption isotherm? So we could derive Langmuir adsorption isotherm equation as X by M is equal to BP by 1 plus AP. Now, taking two cases into consideration. First case, if we take at low pressures. See, look at the denominator on the right hand side. What is there? 1 plus AP. A is a constant, P is pressure. Okay, so at low pressures, that is, at this case, AP is negligible when compared to 1. Why? The case taken is low pressure. That means the pressure is very low when compared to 1, and hence AP is negligible, so we can neglect it. So how does the above expression change? X by M is equal to BP by 1. Therefore, X by M is equal to BP. What is B? B is a constant. Therefore, X by M is proportional to P power 1. So, change it as X by M proportional to P power 1. Okay. So, while writing, please make this correction, students. X by M proportional to P power 1. Next, second case, at high pressures, 1 is negligible when compared to AP. Therefore, 1 is neglected. So, X by M is equal to BP by 1 plus AP. So, when 1 is neglected, what happens? X by M is equal to BP by AP. So, X by M is equal to B by A into P power 0. Why I have written here P power 0? Because look at the above expression, BP by AP. So, PP gets cancelled. What remains? 1. So, that 1 I have mentioned it as P power 0. Because anything to the power 0, 0 will be equal to 1. So, B is a constant, A is a constant. So, B by A is also a constant. If we remove that constant, we write it as proportionality, X by M proportional to P power 0. So, what is this X by M proportional to P power 0? This is at high pressures. Whereas at low pressures, we got it as X by M proportional to P power 1. So, at intermediate pressures, it should follow the equation X by M proportional to P power 1, which is the expression for Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So, Langmuir adsorption isotherm equation is used for the verification of Freundlich adsorption isotherm equation. Okay. So, if you are asked the question, Langmuir adsorption isotherm, you should write till here. Your answer will be till here. Okay. So the last topic which is remaining in this adsorption is applications of adsorption. You can study on your own and write it. So just I will read once for you. First application, refining of petroleum, vegetable oils and sugar solution. So what is this application? Refining of petroleum and vegetable oils with Fuller's earth or decolorization of sugar solution with activated charcoal is due to the adsorption of coloring material by these adsorbents. Second application, in gas mask, all gas masks are devices containing suitable adsorbent, for example, activated charcoal, activated alumina, silica, etc. present in the atmosphere. Third application, catalysis. In a number of industrial processes, the catalytic action of a catalyst is due to the adsorption of the reactants on the surface of the catalyst. Fourth application, dyeing. In dyeing, with the help of a mordant, the dye is adsorbed by the mordant. What is this mordant? It is nothing but an inorganic oxide which combines with a dye and thereby fixes it in a material. Fifth application, separation of rare gases. That is, adsorption is used in the separation of rare gases. Next, sixth application, in curing diseases, a number of drugs are adsorbed on the germs and kill them. So, this is all about Langmuir adsorption isotherm and applications of adsorption. Kindly, please write down in the notes, practice it and prepare well for your exams. Thank you.